Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in SQL Server. Today we are going to learn about what is trigger in SQL Server. So a trigger in SQL Server is a database object that automatically executes a specified set of SQL statements or procedures in response to certain events occurring in your database. So these events can either be an insert, update, delete, or it can also be a alter or drop commands. So trigger can enforce data integrity in your database operations. You can write a trigger in a table level, and you can fire those triggers either before or after certain event happens. So there are two types of triggers, namely the before and after trigger. The before trigger is usually performed when certain operations, that can be an insert, update, delete, alter or drop. So the before trigger will be fired before any event occurring in your database, and the after trigger will be executed only after certain operations has been performed on your table that you have provided the trigger option. So let us see some live examples through SSMS and understand more about the triggers. So mainly today we are covering the on insert trigger, which is when an insert happens inside a table, then how we can use triggers to fire certain operations. So let's get into the SSMS and see some examples. So here I have a employees table creation script and a few inserts records. So let's create this table first. So before executing this insert statement, let me create a trigger. How we can use the trigger when we insert this statements, I need to perform certain operations. So let me create a trigger quickly. You can use the trigger create trigger command to create a trigger. So you can name trigger for the insert for the table name employees, and you can provide on which table, for the employees table. So I need to handle the trigger operation for this employees table, and only after the event happens. The event is an insert event, so you can provide the trigger as, and you can begin the trigger, and you need to provide what operation you need to do. Let me just print a statement that new row got affected inside the employees table. So we can use the end command to close this trigger. So now let's create this trigger. So now the trigger got created. So first let me try to insert the single record inside the table. So when I execute this, you can see a statement has been printed in my output as new row got affected inside the employees table that I have provided for the trigger statement. So I need to print a new row got affected into the employees table whenever a row got affected inserted into the employees table. So if let me insert another row inside this table. So let me insert this again, so I can get this statement whenever a row got inserted inside the employees table. So I have provided the after insert, so whenever a row inserted into the table, automatically this print message will be printed in the output window. You can also use this trigger to do several operations. So let me quickly create another audit table. So create table, let me name it as audit table. Let me give just provide two columns, namely the value inserted, which is a varchar, and another row which is a time inserted. I can give this as date time. So let me quickly create this table too, and now I have got a audit table. So now whenever a row got inserted to the employees table, then I need to insert a audit log to this audit table. So I need to automate this operation by creating a trigger. So whenever a row inserted into the employees table, then I need to fire the trigger operation and execute the statements inside the trigger. So let me quickly create another trigger. You can use the create trigger command, create trigger, and you can name it as trigger log value. Again, you need to provide the on condition for the employees table. So whenever a row got inserted into the employees table, then after inserting the value, I need to provide the condition. Let's use the begin command, and inside this I need to provide an insert statement. So I need to insert a row inside my audit table. So let me insert into the audit table and provide the values as, let's just give a custom message, new employee added, and I need to provide the specific date time. So we can use the get data function to get the current date time which the employee got inserted. So if you don't know what all are the built-in functions available in SQL Server, let me provide a video in the description. So check out the video for all the built-in functions available in SQL Server. Let's just first create this trigger. So now the audit trigger got created. Now I am going to insert another row. So let me cut this and paste it here. So let me change the ID. Now I am going to insert a row inside my employees table. So now I executed only one row, but you can see there are two rows got affected, one for the employees table and another row for the audit table. So as the first trigger is still in value, you can see the print statement that has also been executed. Now let's just quickly select the audit table. So you can see select star from the audit table. While executing this statement, you can see a new employee got added with the specified date time. So we can use a trigger to take these log functions and automate these logs. So we can also perform certain other operations, like I need to handle the value got inserted into the table through a trigger. So you can automate the records using a trigger function. So I just need to add a trigger that will help me to insert only the department which is an IT or HR or finance. So if we try to insert any other records that are not in the department IT, HR and finance, then I don't need to insert those records. I need to roll back and send a error message to the user. So for this, let me create another trigger. Let's use a create trigger. Give the trigger name as enforce the department value, enforce department. Here you can provide the on for the employees table. So now let me paste it here, and again you need to provide the after condition. After inserting this trigger need to be fired. So let me provide the as and begin command. Inside this I need to check if exits of, if there is a value inserted into the table. So you can select the value from the inserted table. So this inserted table will contains all the rows that are recently inserted into any of the tables that you have executed in the session. So here I need to check whether the department is in a specified value. So I need to check if the department is not in this list, so I can provide the list here. So if it is not a IT department, or it is not a HR department, or else it is not in the finance department, then I need to perform the rollback action. So here I am going to give a begin condition, and here I am going to raise an error. So you can use the raise error function. This raise error function will automatically raise a error that the inserted value is invalid. So we can provide invalid department. So you can print this, and you can provide the code for the error raise command, and also along with this I need to roll back the value, so the row will not get affected into the employees table. So I have provided the rollback transaction command inside this begin statement. So now after this happens, I need to end the begin statement, and also I need to end the trigger. So now let me just close this. So okay, now let me create this trigger. So now again I have this trigger. Now let me try to insert another value. Let me copy this and paste it there. So instead of IT, HR, finance, I am going to insert a sales department into the employees table. Before this, let us select and see the records in this employees table. Select start from the employees table. So now you can select this employees table. I have 3 rows, 2 rows in a IT department and one from the HR department. Now I am going to insert a employee in the sales department. When I execute this statement, automatically I got an error that describes the invalid department ID through the trigger enforce department. So the transaction ended in the trigger, the batch has been aborted. This describes that the value is being inserted into the table has been rolled back. So here when I again select this table, there are only 3 rows, so I can enforce the data integrity through this trigger action. So if I change this as a finance, so let's change this sales as a finance. So when I try to execute this now, so 2 rows got affected, one for the employees table and another which is absolutely the audit table. So now let's select this employees table. You got 4 rows which is the finance data, and also you can see this audit table. New row, new employee has added at the specified time. So I hope you have understood what is trigger and how we can use this insert trigger to perform, how we can manage the insert statements inside our table, and how we can provide the trigger conditions, and how you can perform the fire operations when before or after the event happens inside your table, and how we can automate the audit logs, and also enforce the data integrity inside your table. So let me provide the GitHub link in the description, so you can check the solution and also find some exercise. Please subscribe to the channel and watch all the videos in the SQL Server playlist. Thank you for watching.